Hi everybody, we are back with another live and I am super excited to show you guys this theme today. I did it again, of course, as always, every single week I had to bring you guys something really amazing, and so that's what we do. That's what we do here. I might be slightly crazy for that though. And then, yes, we are just on Facebook today. We're trying to see if this not Facebook. We are not using Facebook today. We are just on YouTube today, trying to see if that gives us, some better, less issues.
Less buffering, right?
Yes.
So we want to see if it makes a difference in our broadcast quality and also like reach, connectivity, all that kind of stuff.
Guys, I feel very strange right now, so give me like 2 seconds because I don't have a necklace on, and this is very weird for me. I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like really naked. I feel exposed.
There's last week's jewelry that you could put on right there, right?
The bracelet. I don't know if I have a necklace over here.
You could put on today's stuff.
I'm going to show that in a minute. Okay, let me pull something from behind me so I don't feel weird about myself. That's why we have this wall here.
Inspiration.
Just
Inspiration
my
wall.
Jewelry selection wall. Let's just go with this because this is easy to grab. Now I won't feel so weird.
There we go. Well, I love how you have that old belt of mine on around your hips. That makes me feel great. Oh, man. Okay. It's very cute, though. You might be missing the watermark.
Yeah. Friendly reminder though, if you do not want it to buffer on YouTube, all you have to do is just scroll back a little bit, just a little teensy bit. Go back a little, like 10 seconds. It should help a lot, and you shouldn't be experiencing that as much.
Yes. So just back up if you're buffering at all. And we will do that, yeah. As I said that, it starts to buffer.
Yeah, that's always how it works. You're like, spoke too soon.
So this will just help us be able to figure out and pinpoint where those issues are.
Yeah. Whose cup is this? Because I've been stealing this cup lately, and whose is it actually? Is it Dallin's?
So
has US ski team on it?
Yeah, I think it was technically your dad's, but I think those are all ski stickers. Mm-hmm. So the one is from Jackson Hole, the cowboy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I swore it was a ski sticker.
And the other one's like the US ski team one.
Yeah.
But
I need to get one of my own now.
We've got a few. You can probably just make it yours. We've got a couple of white ones. We've got a nice white Yeti one.
Of this exact Yeti?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This size?
Yes.
This lid?
Yep. Well, I don't know, but you can always steal that lid.
Yeah, I really like that cup. That's my caffeine. I have made a full switch. I am reformed. No more energy drinks. So we're working on that solid. I haven't had an energy drink in over a week. Also, I just had the craziest thing happen, which I've never really heard of this happening. I was supposed to have a final today, right after this. It got canceled. Anybody want to guess how my final got canceled? Leave that in the comments. I want to see what you guys could possibly come up with.
Yeah. We'll revisit the subject later.
Yeah.
Let's do, while we're waiting for the signal to stabilize, let's show the jewelry preview.
Yeah, let me do a preview of all of this for you all. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Oops, that is not the view that we wanted.
What was it?
It was just like half black screen.
Oh.
All right. So, as you can tell, I am insane. Some really fun pieces here. We're going to go over exactly how I did all of these, and we're going to go over this effect, which I thought was just the coolest ever. And just to like tell you guys a little bit about that, I was trying to like figure out I was trying to figure out the theme for today. I really wanted to do something interesting, cool. I wasn't really sure. So I just started going through and looking through the pieces, thinking about, okay, what kind of feeling do I want to portray? And so I looked into it and was looking at some of these pieces that I had laid out. And I was like, oh, well, what if I, like, have a bunch of these blanks? What if I hammer these blanks and make it look like water, right? A rippled water effect from hammering it. And then I did that. And then I was like, wait, let me, like, take this a step further. And then I decided to add the flowers to make it look like water lilies. And now we have this really beautiful Monet-inspired theme that we have going on today. And everything sprung from the earrings. So these earrings here are the very first piece I made in this theme this week. And everything else formed around that. That's how we made this collection.
That became the basis of...
Yes. And so obviously I made these and I was like, I cannot not use the Waterlily maiden. Like, I absolutely have to use her.
You gotta go with it, right?
Yeah. And also, little something crazy, because my mom was trying to ask me, like, oh, what colors are in this? It looks like you have a green in here. This is a color mix of a green. We don't have a green in our paint set. All you have to do is equal parts, and I will show you that later. And so we just have 5 colors. It's a very small color set. Even when I was, like, trying to recall what I even used in, I was like, 5 only? 5 only? I always use more colors than that. But it is a small color set, so you probably already have these. We've used a lot of these recently. But yeah, so this is the basis. I wanted to add the pearls to add that little bit of like luxury type of feel and heritage type of feel that's like associated with these works of art. And so I added those, felt like it was very reminiscent of the time that Monet would have been in. And also, like, friendly reminder, guys, pearls used to be way more valuable than any gemstone.
Yeah.
Like,
ooh, that reminds me of watching the Pearl Girl.
Like, they used to be way more valuable. People would just be going into shark-infested waters before we could culture them.
Right?
Which is crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, you know,
like being
those
a pearl
historic
diver
pieces, those historic pieces, like, they really fought for them.
That was like...
Especially ones that
perilous,
were
right?
very even in size. It's crazy. But yeah, these are the pieces. And I did a simple little bracelet that I thought would be cute stacked. Love adding things that I feel like are great for our stacks. This is just a really cute one. I didn't include this in the color set, the white, because it's just a normal paint. And it's just kind of a little extra little thing. And then these earrings, which I will show you where to chop these up, because this is from one piece. So you're going to get one piece to make both of these earrings. You're shaking us.
Sorry, I'm cleaning your mat for you. Which do you want, a clean mat or non-shaky? I'll have to do it on my lap so it doesn't bug you, right?
No, it's just the camera was shaking. That's why I said us.
I know.
It's the group.
I knew what you meant. Stephanie said she loves hearing about your design process. Ainsley?
Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, I just figured I'd explain. And then I heard somebody was like, when is Ainsley gonna use the rig? I didn't use it this week. I did use wire, but not the rig this week.
The jig?
Yeah, the jig. Jig rig.
That's like...
Smig pig. Whatever.
It's an adjacent word, right?
Yeah.
And it could work.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's the overall feeling for today. And we'll hop into this soon. I think I'm gonna go over obviously how to construct this piece here. Just so you know where the cuts are. talk about the paint. These leaves are actually painted, so that is that green mixture on there. Just a little FYI, they're gonna come a much brighter color. Can you hand me the beads I gave you?
These?
Yeah, I just want to show them what color.
Yeah.
So they're not
Sure.
like, why is it like way different?
Why does it look different when you get it in your kit?
That is a very different shade. That is because we painted some coats over top of it.
Cool. Pretty.
So just a little reminder there.
So
this is the color that it comes.
How is everything coming today? Right? How can they purchase the different pieces?
So today, you guys are just going to have to go to the website. There is no Carter on YouTube. So it's just, you guys go to the website. As always, we can probably have the link in the comments.
Where's the website?
And vintage.com/new. Right? /new.
Yeah, or they just can click on the
Yeah.
main graphic. So just go to vintage.com, and there's a series of complete kits and some inspo bundles, right? So if it's like a 2-piece thing, it's an inspo bundle. If it's a 1-piece thing, it is a complete kit.
Yep.
I always have fun deciding which is which.
Yep. So yeah, and we get to put together, I got to put to use the brand new metal cutting shears. They came just in time. So that's also very exciting. But yeah, those are kind of like my tidbits and notes. I don't think I painted anything else that would be shocking for you all. So we can hop right into it. Does anybody have any preference if we start with our blanks or with our frame piece here that we're gonna chop up?
Let's get into the cutting first, because I've seen a couple people like say, "Oh, that's really cool," and then we can go into the texturing
You guys heard
and then
her,
painting.
guys. Let's get into the cutting. All right.
Chop chop.
I do need that frame piece though.
Yeah, they're all right here.
Can you grab that out?
While I'm switching
I'm switching the stuff over for the moment. So I have.
So yeah, this is one of the things that's newly added to the retail website.
Yep.
That you
So
can
there's
get.
a lot of new products today again. And obviously you guys have seen it from past lives, but now you guys are able to purchase it.
Ah, thank you, Kat. She says these designs are the best ever.
Thank you. So we're going to be using this piece. Obviously this is a very, very big transformation. And these are asymmetrical earrings. Anybody who, wait, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. All right. Here's our piece. And here is the earrings. These are asymmetrical earrings. Anybody who knows me knows that I love asymmetrical design. I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, right?
It's been a real minute,
Yeah.
but like if you've been around for a good few years, you've seen it quite a few times. So my dad was making fun of me the other day actually for saying fur. We all do that in our family. He was like, "What are you, Texan?"
It's a Galena thing.
But I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you not know? That's like a Galena, Illinois thing.
I say it less than the rest of you because my parents didn't say it.
Yeah.
So, but I picked it up too. It's still in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, anytime I recognize that I say it, cringes me out. I have to make conscious effort to say for. Otherwise, I'm just going to say fur.
That's okay. We'll just make a video compilation of all of the times you say fur for
Love
our
that.
entertainment.
Love that. Love
That's
that.
like a good idea.
Yeah, that's
Oh my goodness.
fantastic. All right, guys. So this is really easy. You just want to have your metal cutting shears and your piece. These are going to get through nice thick pieces. I like to also use my clippers for our side cutters to get in any like specific more detailed spots, but we're going to do our big cuts first and then we're going to go through and clean it up some. So I'm just going to cut along the design here to the best of my ability and snip it off. And we're going to go over here and do the same thing. This one's a little straighter. So now we have a piece. I'm actually going to trim this piece up with the shears in a minute, but let's get these all separated. I'm going to do this piece and part next. And then let me make sure my do not disturb is on my phone, so I'm not reading my text messages.
You don't get distracted, right?
Yeah, I normally have it on, but apparently I slacking today. Slacking.
Me too. I just fixed it on mine as well.
And then I'm gonna cut here as well.
Ooh, awesome, Jean. Does this work better for you? So because you can watch it during school. Ains loves to be different, she says.
What is different about me?
I don't know. Well, pick one.
I know, but I have this thing where I've talked about this with other people where I know that I'm weird, but it's not, like, I just know that I'm weird because I've been told that I'm weird, but it's not something I really can put into a quantifiable way where I could explain to somebody why I'm weird, because I really don't know why.
She might be talking about, though, your hyper individuality. You appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what she's referring to.
Now I'm going to go in and we will adjust these other pieces in a minute as well. And I'm going to take my side cutters and I'm going to clean up these edges so that I'm getting, most of this design here and not this part of it. And maybe I should use, nope, that was fine. These are junky ones and that's why I'm trying to use these first. Because it is a little bit thicker piece of metal. And they kind of struggle with a little bit thicker piece of metal sometimes. And we got that off there. She's cleaned up, and we will file her in a minute. Don't ever forget to file your pieces that you're cutting. We do not want to be cut. So I'm going to clip this.
Yeah, because they can get kind of sharp.
They definitely can. And I'm going to clip this. Or sometimes you can fold like that if it's stuck. And that's a much better shape there. And I feel like this is not too bad over here. I'm fine with that. And then we're going to pull out our file. And we need to make sure that we file any places that we cut so that we don't accidentally hurt ourselves. Or anybody that we're selling jewelry to. That would be terrible.
Yeah. You want to make sure you clean up all those edges whenever you are trimming, cutting, etc. Dividing your pieces up. Kathy says, Ainsley, your mood seems very happy. Result of final being canceled? Question mark. Oh, nobody guessed why her final was canceled. Get your guesses in.
Get your guesses in. Maybe we should start making those the giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you actually have to answer questions.
I was actually thinking the same thing.
Because I feel like people are a little lazy at responding to our questions.
Let's do both. Let's say
We'll do one heart reaction one.
Okay. If you guess correctly, we'll see if anybody guesses correctly, though. Oh, Peggy says, granny glasses, asymmetrical earrings. Different.
Yes.
Different,
oh,
right?
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Asymmetrical earrings, for sure. So, yes, if you could guess why her final was canceled.
I don't even care. You could look it up.
Even.
I don't know if they posted any.
So either the correct response or the most creative response.
Yeah.
Either one of those two. So All right. I think
You think what?
I think
You think?
that I'm thinking while I'm talking,
I'm
which isn't necessary.
I'm thinking.
Oh man. I was just gonna say I think we can finish filing those maybe to perfection later if you want to move on.
Yeah,
Okay.
This won't take me.
So far we have professor is ill, power went out at school. No and no so far. Keep guessing. Keep the guesses rolling in.
Okay, that one is completely smooth. Always double check. Make sure to rub your piece both sides to make sure there's nothing that's gonna cut. I mean, that's a little sharp there.
Connie,
this
nope.
is how I...
It's not that either.
Now they're motivated.
Ooh. Rosalind B says computer system hacked.
I think that's probably as
Question
close
mark?
we're gonna get.
Right? So maybe.
So maybe, I know that there's been some sort of security breach on Canvas. If anybody knows what that is, it's basically how we access all our classes, our grades, our homework assignments, literally everything. And none of our teachers can access anything after the day of Tuesday. So literally anything that's on there, that's where my exam would have been taken at our testing facility. So all the entire school's exams that would have been taken at the testing facility, it's not just my class, the whole school that would have gone to the testing center and a bunch of other places no longer will be taking it. And anybody who happened to have, like, maybe they needed to submit assignments on Canvas, they need to submit it
Different way.
they need to email it to their teacher to get any assignments in. But I don't know exactly what's going to happen to my final. I just know they said that it's not going to affect your final grade, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what they're doing about that.
Yeah, so I think that's the closest.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Rosalind. So if you want to claim I'm going to declare her the winner of the guess.
But
Closest
Canvas is not just used by my university. It's used by universities around the world. So I don't know how they had such a big security breach like that. So we're gonna clip off a little bit excess here.
So Rosalind, make sure you put your full name in here, and all you need to do is have an open order with Vintage, and you will receive one of our giveaway pieces for today.
I'm gonna see if that's the right length. I'm gonna measure this for you guys so that you guys can kind of like know how big to make these in a second.
In
I
other
need to
fun
clip off
news,
some more of this.
I'll let you finish describing that though, so they can get the real nitty-gritty of the design. Do you think it would be helpful to give them a measurement?
I'm going to do that in a minute once I get it about right.
I'll have this here for you, waiting for you.
And then I did cut off like this, so it's not a really big sharp corner like that. So I just clipped the little corners off, and then we do file it still, obviously. But I find that it makes it a little bit easier to file. So we're going to measure this really quickly. Looks like 2.5 centimeters, approximately. And then we also need to clip our other piece. And I will measure that for you guys in a second. Looks like it's probably this one.
Ooh, Pam, share your ideas about healthy ways to increase dopamine.
This
I think
one,
we can all use that.
We're gonna cut right in this little nook where it's coming together and twisting. So really good. Ow, I accidentally pinched my hand.
Woochie.
And then we're going to do the same on the other side. It looks like it's in that little nook again where you can see the little twist there. And so that one should be an easy one to figure out. But yeah, these are those pieces. And that is how you cut them up. All right. A bunch of scraps here that I'm gonna pick up. Throw
Clean
away.
your surface so it's not dangerous.
No accidental finger slicing today. I prefer not to do that. All right. So now that we have that business settled, we can move on to some of our other pieces. I am just gonna say that, give me 2 seconds, I'm just putting these away. This piece here is gonna be the same way that we did our flowers on the necklace that I'm actually wearing right now. I simply used a bead awl to make these. You just do a circle and you pull out from there. Or you can do a bunch of little dots and you just make it into like a star-like shape. Doesn't have to be real precise. Obviously I didn't do it real precise and I just randomly placed them and I did that green on there. And definitely do a heat fuse for this one because the green, the white will stick, but the green is one of our antiques, and yeah. So they don't stick as well, especially on blanks because blanks are a little bit slippery.
You could probably do all ultimate paints.
You
on
could
those,
do
right?
all ultimate paints. I just didn't because I just used the ones that were in the paint set.
Yeah, I think you could probably pick like emerald.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we have time. Ooh, maybe at the end of the live you can talk me through how to do it, and I'll do an enamel technique to give you a break.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun thing to do.
So there's that. And obviously we have our star of the show today, everybody.
I thought these earrings were insane. I'm just in love with them.
So I will show you this process. Can you hand me a blank, actually?
Yeah. You need the wavy one, right?
Yes.
The silhouette.
Because the construction of the bracelet for that is exactly the same. You just bend it and you add this 6-petal piece.
And you do the same kind of texture on there.
Everything is exactly the same. Just a different shaped blank, and you just add in another 6-petal blank piece there and curve it. But you guys know how to do that.
So we're talking about like dopamine and all that kind of stuff. And I heard a really cool tip. If you are stressed and if you have high cortisol and you cannot remove any of the stressors in your life, they say go solve someone's problem. Mm-hmm. And then it will reduce their cortisol and yours at the same time. Mm-hmm.
So we have 2 hammers. I like to use both of them for this one. It just gives me a nice like uneven texture. I wanted it to make it look like ripples, and so that's why I did this. I do have to say, I noticed a massive difference when I went home and hammered some pieces for my mom for one of the themes that we did. I was like, wow. My tip is have a very steady table, not like this one, because your hammering will be so much better.
Oh, did you do it on the kitchen island, which is cement countertop?
Yeah. So much better.
So much easier, right?
It's so much easier. I'm like, how is she always getting these like super consistent like hammering? And I'm like, it's just because the stability of your table can really affect that.
Do you know what's another secret? that will affect your hammering, the quality of your bench block, how many dings it has in it, and the texture of your hammer.
But also, like, you need to, the thing too to get consistent is you can use your arm, which I'm going to do that for this one because I don't want it to be even. Or you can let the hammer use its weight. Like, use the weight of the hammer.
Right.
And that will be a more consistent and round piece. Because going like this, you get more of a oval type of shape.
Sure.
And using the weight of the hammer with it, you're going to get that rounder shape. Yeah.
So I've heard, like, to reduce fatigue, always use the largest joint possible, like if you're doing a lot. And you guys know I do a lot of hammering. We're just like, oh, Mom's making an order again.
Dang, we did not remember tape. Peggy, I need you to remind her to bring tape here. Ow. My back kind of hurts. Oh, give me 2 seconds.
Snap. Ooh, I could hear that one. I wonder if I could hear that on the video.
Yeah, that's
that crack.
Did I cringe anybody out?
I don't think it was like that cringy, so I think you're okay.
All right. So we're going to hammer this. I'm going to use both sizes to create this texture. And it's going to be loud here for a second, so if you find that annoying, just turn your volume off. Flip your piece around. It's going to add more variation. Flatten that out. Again. Go through. Try to fill in any of those gaps that I see. And then I'm going to go in with my smaller hammer. Kind of look this over real quickly. See if I want to add anything anywhere. Okay, I like that.
Can you show them kind of like a close-up or like an angle of what the texture looks like before, like what it's supposed to look like before you put your colors on there? I feel like
we
that's
actually, you will see
helpful.
It because I'm going to relief it. Yeah.
Okay. No problem, Juanita. I'm hopefully that I'm pulling that out of your handle correctly there. She says, thanks for the hammering tips. This is what we do. Something kind of exciting is that today I signed up for a new app that helps us create shorts out of our classes. So you're going to see a lot more content that are like small tips that are little snippets from our class, hopefully to get a little bit more exposure and get a little bit more live participation, which should be fun.
So I started with that one. I like to use both grits of my sandpaper stuff. And we're going to really pull out those details so that you guys get that.
Juanita says Canvas was hacked at several schools.
Yeah, I wouldn't
we
be
think
surprised.
it was a hack, but we're not. They didn't say that implicitly.
They said it was a security breach, and everyone's been forcibly logged out.
Yeah, so maybe they got to it before it got really bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, welcome, Monica. It's been a minute. I saw you on the live on Wednesday, but welcome on Friday as well.
So here's that look for now. All right, I can take that paint mat off you now. That you so lovingly prepared.
What do you need? The mat. Yes, the thing that was shaking the camera earlier. Da da da. Got it pretty good. Pretty clean.
Yeah, I think that's good for not having a sink.
I know. I have to remember to take them home to get them a really, really good wash. But, you know, honestly, by the time we're done with the live, we're just ready to go home.
We're going to make sure our caps are screwed on because I made the mistake of, not last time, I thought it was on. I thought I had screwed it on. It was not completely screwed on, and I got pink all over my hands.
Oh.
Love that for me.
Ainsley is persnickety about her manicures, and I try.
I still have paint on
and
mine.
Fail.
I still have paint on mine. It's making my hands look dirty, but I haven't had the time to like do a proper clean off of it.
Do you want to show them which color? So this bundle is available also at vintage.com. Do you want to maybe just hold up?
I'm gonna do a mixer little action over here. The vortex mixer. It makes me think of a volcano. Maybe I should call it the volcano. Explosive power.
Vortex. Volcano vortex mixer. I think everything should have interesting descriptive names like that.
I'm actually gonna move it closer so I can show and do this. So first things first, I have our super lovely blue violet color shift. And I'm going to use some colors in here you probably will not expect in this effect. And so now we have our amber yellow. And if you guys have any blanks at home, you can definitely paint alongside me and hand me your piece as well. And you can try out this effect at home today. And so now we have our sepia brown.
Well, Monica, we are happy to have you back.
Getting my paint mixed up here, so there we go. We have our pale pink. And then one more color, because this is only 5.
Such a pretty combo. Just love it.
And then we have our blue teal.
So now, you will paint it first and then rivet?
Yes. You don't want to do that after. That would really suck.
Yeah, I'm guessing. What about your flowers? Do you paint those first or after?
After.
Okay. Do you have some? Do you have extras?
There should be some over here.
I will look for them for you while you're getting
they're
your demos.
literally right
here.
here.
Okay, you have them.
Yeah.
Great.
Alrighty. So we're going to go through. We're going to use a normal brush today. I'll let you know what size. Just give me 1 second to get it out in the first place. And dry it off.
Okay, I think we could go a little bit more zoomed in too.
I don't know if you're caught up or not.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Because it will adjust and go in order to improve the quality of the video. It kind of figures that out.
Let me open this up. Can you fix the camera? It's a little low. Should be a little higher.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there we go.
So I'm starting with the blue violet color shift. And we're going to put a nice layer on there. This is definitely one that I recommend using your heat tool for. It's just going to make the process a lot easier. So I'm going to do a nice layer of that. Try and get it sitting in those grooves. And then I will immediately hit the heat tool. Lock that in there. literally just only have my hand there to make sure I'm not drawing out my blue-violet color shift to the side. I'm going to do another layer of that right over top of it. Really get that nice and concentrated. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit that with the heat tool. And then we're gonna go in with our sepia brown at this point. I dry wipe off my brush in between. I'm not going to completely clean it. It's kind of pointless. These colors will mix together somewhat. And so I just do a good dry brush wipe off. So just give me a second to do that. Try and get as much of that color off of there as possible. I'm going to take a little bit, I'm going to dab some of it off onto my mat. I don't want to have too much. And then I'm going to lightly tap in here, just some randomly, kind of like it's the rock on the bottom of it. Then I'm going to dry wipe that off on my paper towel to the side so that most of that color has been removed from my brush. Isn't going to be put down. Now we're going to go in with the amber yellow. And we're going to do the same kind of thing, same type of application. Dab some of that off, like I did with the brown. I'm going to use the top of my brush too, because I can kind of stipple it a little more. Add it in some unexpected places, and I did actually go right around the edges as well with that. Same thing, dry wipe that off. Move as much of that yellow as possible. And then we're going to go in with our next color, which is the teal blue. And actually, let me seal this in really quickly with our heat tool. It's a very thin layer, so it will not take long. I'm going to put some of this blue on my mat. Get some right on the end of my brush. Kind of like to tap it off a little bit, and we're going to do a nice layer right over top of that. I'm going to wipe a little bit more off of my brush because it's a little more than I'm kind of wanting. And we're going to do a nice thin layer. Sweep that across there.
Stephanie has a question. Mm-hmm. Do the antique paints have to be dried before another color is laid down? Does this lock them in better?
No, it's just this technique.
Right. So
this is the method that I'm using for this to achieve the effect. You could wait for them to dry completely. It'd be a very slow process.
It just makes them not blend together, right?
Yes, that's like why we're waiting completely for it to dry. Yeah. And yeah, it's just to prevent any blending. I'm wanting to do thin layers that I'm layering over top of it and not blend them.
So if you were doing, let's say, this whole set, would you suggest doing like both earrings and your blank at the same time?
Yes.
Like all three pieces?
Yes, I would just do it all at the same time.
And that's going to save you time.
Yeah. And then we're going to go over and we're going to dry this coat.
So yeah, in Juanita today, all the colors that are in the set is what we used on the maiden, the earrings, the bracelet, Everything except for that crystal lotus necklace.
Yep. So same thing. We're going to do the same thing with another coat. Sweep that over lightly. Try and remove any excess.
I just really love how there's so much movement in the color of these.
Dry this. This one you really want to make sure is nice and dry this time. Just because I will be reliefing it, so I don't want it to be tacky at all because it's going to remove more than I would want it to. So if it's in that tacky phase, it just might not result in as what I want it to be like. So I would really make sure this coat, I'm going to let that cool off for a couple seconds, clean my brush.
Okay, so I'm writing up for the studio list, and it's going to be tape. And what's the second thing that I'm just thinking here right now? What did you just say?
I don't know, it's tacky.
Tacky. Oh, sanding. Sanding sponge. That's the other thing that I'm going to put on my list. More sanding sponge swatches.
I have a funny gift that I want to give Dad for Father's Day, which is like way down the line. But it's actually a good quality gift. I saw this woman who she makes handmade brooms, but with natural fibers and all of this.
Right, but it's a cool looking one.
They look cool, but also like they pick up dirt way better than our modern brooms. They do a much better, more effective job, and you know how much he loves his sweeping.
I know.
And getting it just so.
He is a perfectionist when it comes to sweeping. I may be a perfectionist in some things, but that is not one of them.
Still feeling a little bit warm, so I'm just gonna let that cool down a little bit longer. But yeah, I thought that was a really funny but useful gift.
Mm-hmm. I think.
But also, like, you could probably, it's so beautifully made, you could use it literally as decor if you wanted to.
Like, it would be better than the weird kitchen broom that's, like, always sitting out in the laundry room.
Yes.
Yeah, you could hang it on the wall or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is still a little toasty and tacky.
Want to clean up your mat? Are you riveting next?
I'm going to paint more,
Okay.
actually. But I can clean up some of this because I won't be using these.
Then you probably can wait then you can probably paint some more while you're waiting for that to dry. Yes, thank you, Corian, for putting the color list in the comments. Also, in the description of the video, we have a link to the new category on Vintage.com, and everything from today is right there. I also put a link to our Amazon storefront that has like the heat tool, the sanding sponges, all that kind of stuff.
This is feeling dry enough now, and not so warm. So I'm going to I find that actually it's a lot easier to really get a good sand if you're pressing your piece in the table and just...
yeah.
So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I get this nicely sanded up. We're going to bring back all those features, and we will do another layer after this. But we definitely want to reveal our hammered pattern here. And so we're going in and grooving this. We're working through all those layers to get that pattern to come forth.
Stephanie says the sepia brown looks like the bottom of the pond and the blue teal is the water. Well done. I think sometimes people forget like water has a lot of brown,
Yes.
right? I think that's also what gives some of the like the movement to it, which is cool. Also, while Ainsley's cleaning that up, I want to take another moment to mention that if you are a member of the Backstage Pass, the new discount structure is in place. So you will, as long as you're spending over $50, you're going to save an additional 20% off of our kits and mixes and everything today. So take advantage of that and get them while they last.
All right, and now we're gonna go back with one more layer of our blue color shift. I'm just gonna kind of dabble this in here. I don't want to cover all of what we've done up. And then I'm gonna take my paper towel and I'm gonna dab some of that off. But I do want it on there a bit. And so I'm just gonna add where I want some more.
I missed what color you're going
This
in
blue
with.
violet color shift.
Okay, so you're doing a little bit more iridescent on the top.
Yes.
Add a little bit more shimmer.
And then just doing some nice dabbing.
Those micro adjustments.
And that is how we get this effect. It's a really cool, fun effect. You can't really tell, but it does shift a lot. It looks a little bit flat here, but as you can tell, it's really glowy from the side. So it changes depending on what angle you're looking at it at, which I think is cool because it's like little reflections on the pond.
I think that looking at what you've done with making the water lily floating in your finished design really makes me think differently about blanks in general and what can be done with them.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it a very, very interesting thought process. Even like these little Eastern motif blanks that we got, that you did, you could do a flower in the center of each one of them, and that would be cool too. Your little dimensional thing that you got going on.
Yeah. Also, I did a really funny trick the other day, guys, because I needed to mirror these pieces for these earrings, right? So I had already done one of my piece, and you'll be able to see the remnants of the paint on it. And so I literally put paint on the back of my rivets, and so I could find a mirrored exact
so smart.
mirrored of where I did my rivets at. I just bloop.
The whole placement? That's so smart.
And so I got a perfect little hole placement there because that's what I did.
So, Peggy, I have done that. She said, curious what would happen if you hammered for texture after the item is recently painted. So, it will remove some of the paint. It will make it look kind of like really like beat up and aged. So that's really good for aging effects, to chip some of the paint off. So that would be a fun experiment. I encourage you to try it.
Now we're going to do some hole punching, of course. And so we're just going to try and mimic where we did this at on here. It's looking around right there. You guys know I'm just an eyeballer, and that's the best that we're gonna do because that's just how we roll here. So we do that one. I'll take a look at my earring again so I can get a nice little reference. And we're gonna go right in here as well. And then I really do recommend you use that hack that I told you to do your other one. You could just, if you've already done it, you can also just flip your piece like this, if you have both of them hammered, and use your hole punches here as well. But if you've already done one of your pieces and then you're starting your next one, that's definitely the easiest way to get it done and even. So there's that. As always, since we are riveting today, we do need to use our bead awl. And we need to open these up just to fit those rivets. They're just a little bit bigger than this, the gauge of the hole punch. I find that if I do this like little curve twisting rotation, it makes it go a lot faster. Especially on these, it's really easy to do that on the blanks because they're nice and soft. And then I do need to show you what to do with these flowers specifically. So we're gonna bring back our hammer. I'm gonna set some of this stuff out of the way for the moment. So just give me a couple of seconds to shift this. You hold on to this for a minute. Alright, bring back my bench block. I'm gonna bring back our tiny little flower, or not bring it back, bring it on.
Bring it out.
You are going to do something very specific with these that you would not know to do unless I showed you. So I'm going to first, this is not the specific thing, I just do a bend back and forth. I don't need these, so I'm just going to bend back and forth, get that little loop off. And of course, you do file these right after. You guys know the drill. Clean up your sharp edges. Granted, this would be a piece that you're a lot less likely to get sliced on. But we like to be careful and finish our work out nicely.
I think that's kind of the difference between just like crafty and high-end jewelry. And, you know, as I'm finding my niche for who buys the designs that I make, it's definitely people who are spending more money. And they expect a certain level of finishing.
All right, there's that. We're gonna finish out this one really quickly. These don't take very long because they're just a little small.
I can't really see what you're doing almost at all there, just FYI. I think it's just how close it is to the camera is fussing
it's
it out
because
a little bit.
I have the block in the way.
I know.
But this doesn't matter. They know how to file. I just need to get it done. Okay, so we're going to take our small hammer and we're going to flatten this center portion. It's a little beveled, as you can see. We don't want that. That's going to make our connection not as tight. It's going to make it a little loose. We're going to have less allowance in our rivet. We do actually trim it for this one, but for the piece that we layer in the bracelet with the 6 petals, you want to have as much allowance as possible just to make sure that your pieces fit nicely. So we're going to take our piece. I like to hold, give me 1 second. I want to make sure this is easy view for you guys. I like to hold my hammer like this with my finger. I'm not trying to apply a bunch of force. I'm trying to be very precise and get it right in that center. And so I'm just going to go in like so, which is a little bit hard for me to do at this angle. And so I'm doing this. Now that little center part is very nice and flat. There is a big difference between those two pieces. This is going to be nice and flush for us. Move that to the side, repeat on this one. stay as centered as possible on that, so we're not flattening out our petal shapes. And we do just flatten these out. I don't do it completely. I don't want it completely flat, but enough that I can still hammer my piece when I put my rivet in. Now we're just going to hole punch these right in the center. And I'm going to move this aside so you guys can see that better. I find it's easiest to pull these off with pliers and kind of just wiggle. And then I'm going to do the same thing as early, bore these out. And I'm going to use my pliers again and do that rotational kind of thing there. And then repeat on this one. And we'll double check that I bored that out enough in a second. I normally have a little bit more precise holes, but because I'm trying to show you guys on camera, it's harder to do that from a distance as always, because it's very far away from my body. I'm just gonna pull that off.
Do you find that's kind of like a helpful tip, is that if you're having trouble removing your piece from your pliers, you can just get a better grip with your...
You mean from your
hole punch pliers.
You can use your chain nose
Yep.
to get a better grip. So just boring that out some. Hopefully I did that enough. We'll check in a second and see. I like to, because these are so tiny, grab with my needle nose pliers here and round nose.
Yep.
Round nose pliers, and then try and put it in that fit. Just gonna have to push down a bit. It's a tighter fit, so we're just gonna use our chain nose to push that in all the way. I like it when it's a nice tight fit there. It's just a little bit easier to work with.
Well, it's not going to run away on you either.
That's what I mean. She's not gonna decide that she wants to leave this connection we're trying to make. And then we're going to put this guy in there. It's another good one. Looks like I did just the right amount today. And she's in. And then we're going to take them and put them right into our pieces here. So just thread that in there. And in here. And back our punch box. These ones we do actually clip. I found that it is a little bit long, so 2 credit cards worth is about optimal thickness. And I'm going to hammer this flat. We'll do the other side in a second. As I chop my finger off. Alright. We're going to do the other side. We're going to clip it. These ones I don't mind if they're loose enough to spin around. I find it's a little bit easier to bend up my edges if I can kind of twist it, but I guess I got that really locked in there. So then you just pull up all of your edges from here. You might have to use a bead awl to kind of lift them. This is kind of the more tedious part of this process. There's not really a way around it unless you have, unless you use something to like stick here.
Sometimes
and then,
I find if I have something that's hard to grab on, I'll actually use my side cutters to get under the edge of it because it's smaller. Or you could probably use like a blank to get under there.
Yeah, anything to help lift these edges is going to make it easier. Yeah, you're right. A blank might be a good idea. Can you actually hand me one?
Yeah, what kind do you want? Like square?
Doesn't really matter.
Well, we'll use one of the ones that you're using today then. It's got a nice little pointy little tip.
And lift those up some. Yeah, that really works well, actually. New hack.
Use the Eastern motif blank.
And we're just curving those up. And we just need it to be curved up enough to grab it with our pliers. Yeah, thank you for that hack. Making my life a lot easier. Wish I knew that sooner.
Woohoo! That's why we're here. We learn from each other.
Because I ever have the hardest time picking blanks up after I set them down.
Just keep it like around your neck, right? Or you could keep it on like a ribbon or something, where you just pick the ribbon up and then it comes with it.
That's funny. Alrighty. And then you just repeat that same process with your other flower. I'll show you the painting of the one flower in a minute. Do you want to actually lift up this other flower here while I show them another technique? So we're going to come back to that in a second. I'm going to show you our full maiden process here in a sec once I find her. Where did she go? Maybe I put her over here. Yeah, I did. So this, I've shown this before. We're going to do a whole cover up here. This is why I wanted tape, because this is going to make my life terrible not having tape.
Wonder if there's just some like hanging out here.
To do it last time, I literally used the silicone mat and I pressed as hard as I could to create a seal. Can you hand me the small one actually for the moment? Yeah. So that's what we're gonna have to do.
Are you talking about just putting the
resin?
Oh, you know what I did? Because I've done this recently. I just held it at an angle like this to do it.
I'm covering a hole.
Right. I'm saying like I held
it will drip through.
I held it like this, and I did it really fast. I know what you're saying.
So we're gonna do the resin. I'm gonna get this prepared in a second. I'm gonna have my light on. Ooh. Stand by. And I really recommend having tape, but you know, if you're in a pinch like I am right now, this also kind of works. Put that on there to absorb some of that up.
think you could probably bend some of these up in the beginning, but you would have to rivet from the front in order to do that.
Put that under the light.
Which you probably wouldn't want to do because it's such a pretty little cap here.
Alrighty. I'm going to flip my piece, so I just flip my piece under there to make sure I get the other side nicely. And then I'm going to grab my other color that I want to use for our little cover-up paint technique. You guys know the one. Mackie actually made this technique, and we all use it now. Because it's the perfect colors to...
Actually, just like on the back, I just use the brown, just a tiny bit of it.
It's not as good.
If I'm going over it with paint, it doesn't matter. Like if I'm doing a full patina effect over the top. Here is your bent up flower. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. That is going to be the only resining we need to do. I'm going to quickly show you this technique just as a little refresher. And so, oops, sorry guys, I'm gonna zoom out in a sec. Make sure y'all have a nice good view there. 1, 2, 3. 3 drops of our earth. One drop of that. Mix them together. I just like to use the back of our brush. And then I'm going to go in and put that right on there. Some heat real quick. We're going to flip that over and repeat on our other side, right where all that resin is.
Diane, it was iridescent green and earth.
So that is all you have to do to cover that up. And then obviously we're going to go over it with paint in a minute here. But that is overall the technique. Just a little refresh. How you can get those nice and covered.
It's not earth?
It is earth.
Yeah, it is. Right?
Yeah, I said earth.
Yeah, show them the bottles of the two.
Earth. Iridescent green.
Or if you're using the antiques, it would be sienna brown. Yeah.
It's a little easier to use the enamels because it's more pigmented and less slippery.
Like to cover the resin. It's going to stick a little bit better.
Okay, we're going to go back
roll off
to our little flower piece here. And we're going to quickly do our final steps here to finish this up. Obviously, you're going to do more to fully construct it with hole punching and our pearls and all of that. But for this portion of the technique, so I have my pale pink. Let me move this into a better spot for you guys to see. And I'm going to take my brush again, same one as earlier. I just used the same brush for everything for this piece. Dab in a little bit of that pale pink on the edges. I don't have a ton, just a little bit. I'm going to dab that right onto my flower here. Actually, I need a little bit more pink.
Yeah, the bristle brush really likes to soak that up.
So I'm dabbing that on, then we're going to go in, make sure you get the corners of the petals as well. And we're going to use our heat tool again. Same thing as earlier, you would just need to let it fully dry. But this does help you get a more coated look. Because we can utilize our heat fuse. We're going to go on with another layer of pink. Really concentrate that more. So we do 2 layers of this first. I'm going to dry it in just a second. Sepia brown is for the paint set, Peggy. That those 2 colors are not in the paint set. They are just a reminder if you're going to use anything to cover up your pieces and do a little color match to cover up a hole. Yep. Those are the colors that you would use.
Yeah, sienna is the same tone as earth. So those aren't in the set, but if you were going to like patch a hole in a natural brass thing like we did last week and this week, it's just a good thing to do on the back of the piece.
I'm going to go in with our violet color shift. Just dry wipe your brush of all the pale pink there as best as possible. I'm just going to dab it up on the edges and just dab that right over top. Don't need a ton of this, so I do go back and absorb some of it up. And we will do one more coat after this of that pale pink. Also, if you get a little on the sides, that's fine. Mine have that too. You can clean it up if you want to a bit.
You know what else we need on our studio list? Snacks. I could use a snack about right now. I don't know about you guys.
dry wipe that, and then we'll go back in with our pale pink.
Welcome, Leslie.
Dab, 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 dab. I need a little bit more. And if you want to be real particular about it getting on those edges there, you could just go back in with a tiny little bit of the
When you were looking at the shape of this blank, did it immediately remind you of the Waterlily Maiden? Is that how you thought to do
No.
this? Because I was like,
Waterlily
wait a minute.
Maiden, it came afterwards.
But she's like almost the same
I know,
silhouette.
she is very similar. So I'm just going to go back in if I want to touch this up. I took a detail brush and I'm just going into the sides. So if you want to touch it up, I didn't do this on my first. Wow, love dipping paint right onto my hand there. Love it. Love it.
It's your favorite thing to do.
But you can do this if you're super particular, just with your detail brush.
I was thinking, because I saw that you had a little bit of pink that had bled over.
I think it does look kind of like a reflection on there.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So you can leave it, but you know, if it depends like what your preference is. I'm just showing that they can do that as well.
If they don't want any. I was just thinking about like Monet's water lilies and how they reflect in the water. So
Guys, I think I'm a better artistic sculpture-y, like somebody at the, what is it called? The Met Gala, is that what it is?
The Met?
That they've been posting all about.
oh, it's so like they're so uninspired this year, which is crazy.
There's some really good ones in there, mixed
Yeah.
in there, but like a lot of most people just were slacking. Somebody
Can you imagine?
Somebody took inspiration from Monet and they had the most boring dress ever, but like these would have been perfect.
Can
and
you
way
imagine
more.
like if you had just like them all over? Ugh.
So once those are dry, these are done, and you can finish out your piece with some hole punches, some pearls, some chain, and ear wire. Overall, really easy to finish.
Do you feel like sometimes when a theme is like really on the nose, people like struggle though? Like it's almost too.
But it was supposed to be their relationship with art.
Their relationship with art?
Yes. And not just art, but most people just like slapped art on a dress and it had no
Yeah.
representation of them as a person.
I mean, usually there's some pretty interesting things coming out, and I don't know, like it seemed like you.
Okay.
Maybe it was just.
We're going to come back to this in a second. I'm going to let my mom show you how to do this because I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you want me to do that now so you can have a break?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Sorry, I was like reading comments.
I'm like, is she
Missing that.
not hearing me?
Wait,
Mr. Q.
You have the colors out?
Yes, I have the marble here, and then
Okay.
all you have to do is equal parts of these. Just make sure
You have marble out, and I'm gonna do something like grab my emerald green paint to make it thicker. And you used a little bit of topaz in the center.
No, yeah,
I mean,
the amber
yes, with
yellow,
the-
but
the-
yeah, I just used this one.
Okay.
But yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna grab these.
I'll let
Because
you
it's
do
an
that.
enamel technique, I'm gonna use the enamels.
I will be right back, guys, and then I'll read your comments when I'm back and she's doing this.
Alright, guys. I get to hang out for a minute. Woohoo! Alright. And while I'm getting my colors ready, I can speak a little bit to what we're doing with the master classes, right? Or really what we're doing with the backstage pass, and what we're doing to try to make sure you guys are still getting the same kind of experience that you used to get with the master classes. So we still have the library available. So if you are subscribed, sorry, I left the blanks that I have to paint on actually like over on the other side of the table. I gotta grab them. Okay. So if you are subscribed, you have access to the masterclass library, which has got all of our archive techniques in it. But to make sure you're still getting the in-depth techniques every week, we're going to make sure that we're going in depth into some of these techniques during this Friday live class, which Corian also does. She goes really in depth when she's doing the stash class as well, which I'm excited to see what she's got for this month. What about you guys? Maybe you guys have already seen it and I haven't seen it yet because I'm waiting for the shipment. All right, so let me get this out. We've got Ainsley's piece that she did here. And then I've got a few of these out, which it looks like she's got extra holes put in there. But I'm just gonna kind of copy her a couple of these patterns here that she's got. And I'm gonna do a little different. I know she used the antiques, but I think it's gonna be easier to use the Ultimate Paint enamels, right? So I'm gonna use some emerald. Make sure we get this. And these have been in here like since we've had the studio here. We've been pretty much using the antiques almost exclusively. So these have been sitting here like for like a year. These particular bottles. So they needed a little bit of mixing, guys, and a little bit of tip clearing. But I have emerald, and then this one is topaz. And then we'll do some marble as well. Okay. So I was mentioning earlier that I found this really great program, which actually was Ainsley's suggestion. She said, because I was telling her I just don't have time to do the reels after the lives like I used to. And she was saying, well, I think there's some editing software that you can get that kind of does that for you, where it takes parts of your class and it groups it out. And so I just did my little bit first experiment with that today. So you guys are going to be able to see a lot more of that content coming your way from us. So that will be kind of fun. All right. So I'm just going to copy this. So when you're doing like an enamel technique, I find that it's easiest to use Ultimate Paints because look at that. That's already like full opacity and that's it. And she's got kind of like a star shape to her flowers. So that's what I'm going to do is just make these little kind of star shapes, like 5 points on them. And then we'll do like some little leaf shapes, but she's got like kind of like just connecting this way. And you don't have to be precise. So you could go in and like zoom in on the photo and really copy it, or you can just kind of wing it and make it a little bit of your own pattern. So I would say start with your flowers, which it's a star shape, so you could almost kind of like draw a star on there, or just do little like X's almost and then add one. Awesome. Juanita. Yeah, the master classes are great. I'm going to be exploring also to see like if there's ways that we can get snippets of them, which will be fun as well. Okay, so then what I'm going to do at this point, because I don't want the flowers to bleed together when I put the center drop on, I'm going to use the heat tool and go ahead and dry these. So it's best if you kind of move your heat tool around while you're drying it so it doesn't make it bubble up. It doesn't have to be completely dry, but I want it dry enough on the surface so that the colors don't mix. Which, what did I do with the, there it is. How am I doing?
Yeah, it looks good.
I was telling them I'm not trying to completely copy, just getting like the basic feel.
Yeah, yeah.
So the difference between the antiques, which we mostly use on these, and the ultimate paints is really like the viscosity and how opaque they are. The antiques are great for layering, antiquing, getting like patina effects, which can be kind of hard to do if you use the paints. But the paints are really great for enamel techniques. I got a little bit more of this right there than I want. And there we go. Go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see that a little bit more. How do we do? It's got kind of that feel. I feel like maybe your leaves are a little bit more flat and painterly than, and I would say probably use like a silicone brush if I can find that. Here we go. Here's one. So I would say maybe you've got like a little bit more dimension going on in here with your leaves. Maybe there's just more. They're in more spots. And that's that. While Ainsley's looking at comments, I'm just going to admire this piece that she did here. Let's see if I can guess. So I asked her what green she used, and she didn't use a green. This is a blend of the colors from the set. So I'm guessing that this is amber yellow and teal blue made the leaf color. That's what I'm guessing. But can you believe, like, look at this, okay? Don't these, let me just zoom out a little bit. Don't think these look like they were always supposed to be part of the same family, this one and that one? And we've never ever designed with them together before. So pretty though. Will mixing ultimate paint and glaze give you a similar texture to the antique? No. So your glaze is going to be just as thick as the paints, just without the pigment. So if you want, it's really kind of a whole different thing. It's like a whole different, like the clear glaze. So if you have clear glaze and you have a paint, what that's going to be more like is the same texture with the paint, like the same viscosity of the paint with a more sheer coverage. So it'll be thicker. So for doing things like patina techniques, or if you're doing like antiquing, either one of those two, I'm going to say always use the antique formula, because it's going to go settle into the cracks. So like this piece that I had out, where did it go? This piece that Ainsley created, the way this settled in there, now the metallics, there's no difference between formulas, but in the regular colors, it's just going to settle and layer more. So all that layering technique, you really want the antiques for that. For enamel or like heavy coverage, you want the ultimate paints. So yeah, I saw these earrings and I was just absolutely obsessed from like the first minute. What was cool too is that if you're on the Backstage Pass group, you got to see the jewelry before I did, because Ainsley gave a sneak peek on there. She did this little video. I had seen like a little bit of it on a story or something that she had did on her personal account. But the full jewelry shot, I was like, everybody gets to see this before I do. So that was kind of a fun little behind the scenes content. But yeah. Are you ready to switch back? Maybe moving on to this guy?
Go back to her.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the last.
This one's so cute.
Last one of the
I love
day.
the crystal lotus idea that you had there. Yes, what?
I think I forgot to include a piece in one of the kits.
In
the list.
One of the kit lists?
Yeah.
We'll just make sure we update that after.
Yeah.
Is it the bundle or is it the...
This one?
Oh no, I did. I added it.
Okay,
put it in there.
perfect. Thank you.
I audited it for you.
All right, guys. So we're gonna move back onto our big mat because there's a lot going on here right now. And I just brought this out to do one of our smaller techniques. So we're gonna take this and do this, and I'm gonna bring this back over. And can you get me a wipe so I can clean this off? Okay. So we're gonna go in and I'm gonna show you that beautiful color mixture. And we're gonna detail paint this in a second. If I can get this lid that's stuck on here out from under it. Okay. So we're going over this piece. We're gonna recreate this. And it's going to be beautiful, of course.
It will be.
Unsurprisingly.
Are you going to show also do you use the same colors on the earring pieces?
This, I'll just tell them.
Yeah.
I'm going to show them the mixture.
Yeah.
These flowers are literally done the exact same way we do the flowers on our riveted daisies.
Okay, so it's...
And then
pale
this,
pink and
you're
then...
going to just paint this on there normally. I'm going to show you this color mixture in a second. It's just two colors, just the amber yellow and teal blue, equal parts. And you'll just do a nice color
So you're kind of using the same colors on those as
that same,
your Waterlily.
This is going to be just that teal blue.
So I would suggest, like, at home, painting your earrings at the same time as you do your maiden.
So I'm going to go over this, and we're going to do each of the layers here. And we're going to start with, where is my color at?
What are you looking for? Oh.
It's just the camera's right in my view.
Isn't that funny? It's like that little cartoon sheet that I brought home with, like, perspective. We'll see if you guys agree on this, right? So, like, how you can see different things. They had all these little cartoons on, you know, your different perspective. And one of them was, like, a rhinoceros with, in every painting that it painted, there was, like, a mountain. Because it was seeing its own horn in the perspective. Right?
So, we're going to add 2, 2, 3. So 3 drops there, and then equal parts. So we're gonna do 3 drops of our teal blue too. So amber, yellow, teal blue.
Oh, so you're making a custom color there.
And
like
this is gonna give us that really beautiful green color. I'm just gonna mix that up nicely. And look at this shade, guys. Look how beautiful that shade is. Love that shade.
I feel like when you use multiple colors to get another one, there's always a little bit more oomph to it when you're blending it yourself.
We're going to do a nice layer of our violet here.
Remind me after you're done with this tutorial part, and I'll tell you guys a funny observation. I don't want to talk over Ainsley's explanation.
Dab up the little bubblies there. And then we're gonna start adding in our other colors here. I'm gonna go in with our green. We're gonna go over those lily pads. Add to the leaves here and our flowers. Just like so. Lock that in there in a second.
So you're almost like toning underneath with.
Just need it to be a little less dry there. You can go back in and add color as you see fit. There's just a lot of paint there. You can even absorb some of it.
Corian, if you're still watching, do you have giveaway pieces for today? Let me know in the comments.
And then I'm going to go in and we're gonna do some of our teal blue. I'm gonna give a nice layer of that. Dry wipe off that thicker brush that we've been using. This looks like maybe size 5 of our bristle brush set. Dab some of that off. I'm just kind of don't want it to be too strong on there, and so I'm just gonna kind of bristle this onto in here where there would be the water.
Kat, I agree. She definitely is a color master. Okay, Corian says she does have giveaway items. So we might do a mix because we have to send some of the kit beads back anyway, so we can include some things.
Add some more of that in there. I'm gonna go back in with my detailed brush with this now that I have like a nice base layer, so I can add a little bit more of a concentration in there. We will dab some of this up in a second. Just want to get in some of those more detailed spots. Don't be shy getting it on the edges of her. I find that it helps her kind of like mold into there a little bit better. actually do like that concentration of that. Just hit this with the heat tool really quickly. Lock that in there. And I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna mix a little bit of these two colors I have out, this green that I made. I'm just gonna pull some of it and I'm gonna pull some of my teal blue. Just pull it until I get like a bluish color that I like. I do want just a bit more than that. It's still going real green. So this is just more of an eyeballing. And I'm going to add some of this in here. In some places. Not everywhere, but just to add some more dimension. And soak a little bit of that up. And then I'm going to add in my pink now with my detail brush. I'm going to add it somewhere you're probably not expecting me to as well. So of course we're adding it to all of these beautiful flowers here. Black that in. Add a little bit more where I see necessary. Lock that in. You want to go back in with my detail brush, add back some of that green below those little flowers. Got a little bit colored up by our other colors. Just want to add a tiny little bit more concentration there. You can add more to your petals if you want. You can even add some in the water a little bit. Just little dabs here and there. For some extra dimension. And we're going to take our thicker brush again, that 5 size, dry wipe that off, make sure it's really nice and concentrated. We'll go back in with our pink. We're actually going to put this right on her body.
I don't think we actually have a piece to show the before and after because we used our very last one to make this, right? I did order some more because she's a really gorgeous piece to design with. I ordered some more of a supply to replace what we had here, but
We added pink to her. We will relieve this in a second. And then I'm also going in and adding the amber yellow to her hair.
oh, smart.
So we're going to add that as well. So lots of
We're just
little,
like a
little color.
We're just a little dark for some reason on your demo at the moment. I don't think there's anything we can do about it, but we'll just need to make sure that after you're done that we really hold that piece up, or that you do. There's no we. I'm not a mouse in your pocket, right?
So add that in like so. You can dab some of that up. And we will be relieving in a second here. That's what she looks like at the moment. I'm going to relieve all over especially on her body. The pink is just kind of like to tone her. So we do want to bring back all those highlights that we lost from our paint. So do not be afraid to remove a bunch of that pink color. It's kind of just going to sit in the shadows. And same with her hair. Like the yellow is just going to sit in the shadows. It's not supposed to be super obvious and prominent.
Do you need a better block?
Go over. No, this is
That one's
just
good?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's better than a lot of them.
Blocks are like point shoes.
And then we will go in with some of our other sandpaper. Just do a nice like little wipe over with each of these. And we have one final step to lock in the magic. And we're gonna go back in with that violet purple. Dry wipe that off. And we're just gonna add back in some of that glowiness so it's a little bit more punchy. She's still really glowy, but I just wanna add it just a little bit more. Really send it over the top here. Get it right on the edges. I'm gonna highlight kind of around her body a bit. And then some over here. I'm just dabbing in different areas. Really want to pull that dimension out in this piece.
Do you know what color combination you did today that I'm living for? Is the pale pink with the color shift over it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm for sure using that trick.
Don't really recommend holding it. I feel like I have hot hands, so
Heat resistant.
I'm gonna add a little bit more detail down here that I feel like I'm losing. And I'm just being nitpicky at this point. Can add some back in. I like exactly where she's at here with the glowiness though. She really looks like she's sinking in. And that is that detail painting process. Very organic, watery, more watercolory-esque feeling. I didn't want it to feel too on the nose perfect. I wanted her to feel like she's becoming one with the water. And that is how we paint that. Obviously you're gonna go in, you're gonna do hole punch, hole punch, hole punch, hole punch, all over. But you guys know the deal with that. There's that. Feel like I did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Show you.
And so those are all the same color combinations that are in your earrings?
Yes.
What color do they paint over the leaf with?
Just them two mixture even parts.
Okay, so the
of
green,
amber,
that
yellow,
green
and,
color.
I said
they
that
did.
earlier.
Sure.
Yeah, as well. All right, that is all of those pieces. I'm gonna give you one more. Can you grab me one of those petal things that I just asked if was on the list?
The flower or
The lily pad petal thingy that I said I forgot to put on the list.
I will see if I can find one.
Should be over there in a baggie.
Is there another tip for it that you're gonna share?
But I did this whole entire wire thing.
You're gonna show the whole wire thing? I think that's
It's
just for inspiration.
It's really easy.
Okay. Looky dokey, you guys are getting bonus. She's taking that challenge seriously to show you really super great techniques on these classes. I don't know.
I'm not going to show them the green one because this, guys, all you have to do is a wire wrap. You're going to hang in a little bit extra. You should only need 4 inches. You're going to have your little extra tail and then just do a little swirl with that extra tail of your wire wrap of one of the sides.
I don't.
Oh, let me do it.
I don't know. I'll clean up your area while you're doing that, while you're finding it. Are you painting it?
No.
Okay, so then I can move the mat out of the way and clean it up.
That took me
No
2
more paint?
seconds.
No more paint? You found it. Well, see, you kind of knew where to look. Just paying,
Snappy.
getting paid back.
Snappy.
Snappy. Snappy. Look at how pretty that is, though. That's even inspiring to look at.
Alrighty.
We do need to kind of do the full construction of whatever you didn't cover at
Clean
the
this and
beginning.
just set this to the side so we don't ruin that.
Yeah, I'll wash it out.
It's a detail one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'm going to show you a really quick wire technique. I think it's really easy. Also, this is just tied. I just tied this really tight on both ends. I took roughly 5 inches of wire to do this. So I'm going to take that again. Might definitely trim some off, but that's okay. And then we're going to bend this up, even parts on both sides, kind of pinch that in there. We can take our chain nose to do that. Get that nice and flush there. One of these is just going to stick straight up. You're going to start twisting this piece around it like so. Kind of tighten that up there. And then we can start to do our little shape here. I just like to take these because I find that they help me do a nice guided shape. We're going to start to make that hook shape. And then from here, we can we'll just wrap this around one more time. And we'll make our swirl and trim it. Flatten that out. We're gonna hook this in. We're gonna pull over and we're gonna make our little loop and another loop after that. So we have our loop going. Gonna flatten this out and then we're gonna make our little swirl with the end. And flatten that out.
I felt like this wire detail was just very over the top artistic.
And that's literally all you have to do for this. It's
Listen,
pretty
admittedly
freehand.
it's less complicated than I thought it was looking at it.
It's very freehand. I wouldn't expect to get the same exact thing, but this is a very freehand type of deal. So
It's cool. You could even, if you wanted to be a little bit more sturdy, you could probably bump up to the next thickness of wire.
yeah,
if you wanted
definitely
to.
could.
Because you were using 20 gauge, so I think like 18 or 16 gauge would be a little bit more sturdy.
For sure.
If you have a concern about that.
But very freehand, easy. That took me barely any time.
Wouldn't that be a cute earring too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barely any time, and then you just need to make sure that this is small enough to go through your loop. That's why I chose this nice big toggle ring here.
And I did add that leather in to the bundle as well. So you will be getting this
beautiful blue leather.
That beautiful blue leather, which I don't know, Corian, do you need us to ship some of this blue leather back to you, or do you have enough?
I think they should have it there.
I think they've got it.
I checked the website after you said we didn't carry the one color.
Perfect. Well, let's try some of this stuff on.
Yeah. Yeah, your little bonus.
Is there any little, no other little like construction things that we need to go over?
There's nothing else specialty.
As always, all really great photos are available as secondary images for the products on the website. So
we didn't really talk about this, but this is just bent to your wrist shape, and this is just wired on. Just thread it through while you're doing your wiring. Or you can use jump rings too if you forget to, but if you want it to be more flush design. But yeah, let's go over all of these pieces on, and then I'm going to give Corian's joining us?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to give Corian some time to join
she said
us.
She has giveaway pieces, so to be able to, that way she and it's kind of a fun way to see previous live things sometimes.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. Okay, that did not click.
Juanita is asking, if you don't like your painting job, how can you erase it to try again? Just go on top.
Well, you can go on top. If it's really thick, then I would do acetone probably.
Right, but it's like that can even be difficult to remove it with acetone. So like a nail polish remover or like acetone one, it can be hard to get it off because it's supposed to be a permanent color. But I would say you can go on top of it. Just
guys, don't look. I'm naked. It feels wrong.
You need stuff on that neck, right?
Yeah.
You need to fill that area with jewelry.
Yes, I do have that blue leather here.
Perfect.
I have maybe 100 feet of it, and that's it. So just let me know how many feet you need for the bracelet.
She's on screen.
Oh, because she's full screen?
Yeah, so you want to unzoom that? Because now I'm like eyeballs.
Hippo.
You've got a very like minimal makeup today.
Love it. It looks so good.
I got my eyelashes done, guys. But I got them done in brown, so now all I have to do is wake up. And then clean them, because we do not want crusty eyelashes.
I started using brown mascara instead of black mascara too.
It looks so good.
It does. All right, so I have a few ladies that I'm going to pop into our giveaway list.
And who won what for earlier?
Okay, so earlier, Corian, did you record our earlier winner?
Rosalind.
Yeah, she got the correct guess for canvas.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's who you were referring to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But
So she got that.
I got her last name, so she won't be eligible for a spin because she's already won something. Do you guys have what she won, or do you want me to grab something from here?
You can grab something, I
Yeah.
think, because we have less here.
Yep, because we don't have very many like pieces from today that are completely finished.
So this one is for Rosalind. So as long as she has an open order on vintage.com, she can claim this and we'll put that in her order. So let me write down her name quick. The YouTube comments were pretty active today now that we didn't do it on Facebook.
Yeah, I think so too. It's hard to split, right? Split attention, which I think we'll continue to do mostly the dual streaming, but we wanted to see how this went today. And maybe Fridays will come to this format. You guys will have to tell us, like, was it easy to find us? We'll kind of wait to make a decision on anything until we hear feedback this week from if people knew the class was going on, etc.
Okay, so we are going to do a spin for this unclaimed item. It's that flower with the bezel with some
Yeah, that one's really
paint
pretty.
work. I don't think there's resin on it. There's just paint in it. That one is very pretty. Let me turn this around here. Ba-bam. All right, spin.
I love how that's perfectly centered there.
I know. It worked out really well. Juanita won the flower. So as long as you have an open order on vintage.com, Juanita, we're going to put that in your order. So let me write down her name quick.
Well, it looks really cool on the spinner.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was saying
necklace
earlier.
does. Yeah, I'm a little behind you.
Sure. Okay, Juanita won that one. How many more do you want to do? You want to do one more, two more?
Two more.
Okay.
Let's do this next one. I'm gonna say we have this from the we're gonna send this butterfly back.
Butterfly.
This was an earlier live, like what was it, last 2 themes ago?
Yeah, 1 or 2 themes ago.
And so we're gonna send this guy back for the next one.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Jean.
Woohoo! So Jean gets that really beautiful painted butterfly. So I'm gonna write down her name on this empty bag because that will be shipped to us. Yay,
Is
yay,
it Jean
yay.
fan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know she's already got her order. So
Yeah,
that one's claimed.
You know it.
Do we want
All
to
right.
do this?
Ooh, that would be a cool one.
I also have this. So we did earrings with these earlier. You can totally make a necklace out of this. So if you already got the earrings, you can make your necklace to match.
So one more spin?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to turn this around and this will be for the star cab setting. And spin. Leslie Rose.
Leslie's a good winner. I feel like I've heard her name come up quite a few times.
Yes, so as long as she's got her open order, we will hold that until the gift gets to us and then we will ship it out.
Which has been pretty quick lately. So
yeah, I think we got it on Tuesday of last week. So that was pretty good. All right. And then this I'm working on for next week.
Ooh, that looks really pretty. Yeah, I like the layers.
And then there will be a little like earring kit that comes with that one with these cute
Cute.
little.
So cute and summery.
Yeah. So just something to look forward to for next week. And then Jean explained the changes that are happening to the stash. So I hope that if you're not subscribed, that you get subscribed because those deals are insane.
We'll
Your shipping
probably
threshold. Go
We
ahead.
haven't quite gone through and like done the full overview. We'll probably do that as we're wrapping up the live.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned and don't drop out, ladies, because you guys should listen to this because you need to get signed up ASAP. All right.
All right.
I'm
Thank you,
headed out though.
Corian.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Corian. All right, guys, we're going to do a quick overview of the little try-on so you can see what these look on. Obviously, you can always adjust the links to whatever you need. You know the deal. You want to zoom in on these?
Yes, of course I do.
So here is these necklaces.
I think we're just like,
It's really gray. Do you want to make
it's
this warm?
dark. Like,
It's so gray.
it's just like our
No,
lighting
but
is a
make
little
it
funny.
warm.
No, yes, I will. But I also was trying to get a little bit more light on you. Here we go. Let's see if this works. How's that?
No, that's worse.
Well, I'm going to also change the temperature. How's that? Right there?
No, make it warmer. That's better.
Right there?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's better.
I just feel like today's jewelry needed a little bit more light on it.
So you can take a look. You want to maybe zoom in now. Try that again.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. And then I'll put on the earrings. Both of these earrings are just so cool. I wouldn't even know which one to pick to wear. All right.
Candy, I'm not sure if your name was on the wheel or not. Basically, in order to enter, you have to put your full name in your comment along with giveaway. And that's how you enter on YouTube.
Here's my other earring. Last time I couldn't remember to put on my other earring. Now I can't find it.
Well, I was picking it up and admiring it a few times,
She
so
probably misplaced it, guys. She's like, oh, let me just sneak this in my pocket. And then somehow this little piece that she finished out is going to disappear. And it's going to look like we were just missing it and all randomly appeared. Yeah, I definitely made these myself. What the heck? I feel like I'm tripping. This has been happening to me a lot lately. Oh, here it is. I don't know how it got there, but she decided to go on a trip.
She's an independent.
Not with my consent. Lock her in my tower. Oh, right.
Like the ensemble is just so good.
So, look at those.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in. And of course, the one that's, turn your head just a little bit towards the window. The other way.
No, it's best here. This light.
What I'm saying is that, like, it was, like, just the way the light
it's
was
opposite of what you think.
Oh, well, yeah.
So it's not the window.
Sure.
It's actually
pretty. There you go.
Here.
That's giving a better. We're just like a little contrasty with our light today for some reason.
It's probably this is too bright.
Yeah. Maybe.
And we'll switch out our earrings, the other ones.
Yes, Mary, our videos are always on Fridays at this time every week. So we always have a class and different bundles and kits or new products. paint
And-
collections, patina collections that we feature every
and then
week.
Corian, who is just on helping us with the giveaway, she does a live segment on Wednesdays with warehouse deals, so specialty pricing with components and pieces, and she will show a couple techniques.
Yeah.
But this is more class, and hers is more deals.
Yeah, deals and tutorials. And then ours is more of like design, like heavy theme, researched themes, that kind of stuff. And then linking to our retail website. I am obsessed with these asymmetrical earrings, which somehow are like perfectly balanced. Love, love, love.
This is my
Now,
specialty.
if you are a symmetrical earring girly, buy 2 of this frame piece and then get 2 pair of earrings. If you are like, I have to have them the same on each side, you can do that as well.
Can you put this on me? Oh wait, this is twisted.
Okay. Xavier was telling me that he says that I should be grateful for my weak hands because it gives me better fine motor skills. There's something, because you know how I have better like small dexterity than your dad does.
Here's this little cute, tiny bracelet. I wanted to call this like a baby girl angel bracelet.
Oh, it does kind of look like that. So I don't know if he was just trying to make me feel better because I had to have him come help me hole punch something the other day. He's my 13-year-old, right? Just turned 13. And I have to have him help me hole punch stuff.
I'm gonna put this guy on. Just gonna wrap it around town. Bring it around town.
And Ainsley has small wrists. I did include 3 feet of this in the bundle so that you have plenty to be able to.
Yeah, we always include extra
Yeah.
chain. I don't know. That just decided it was gonna hook itself, apparently. Yeah. We always include extra chain and all that jazz so that we can make sure that it fits a bunch of different wrist size and not just my tiny wrists, because we would not want that. Most people would not be wearing.
I will have to say I like your small wrist size designs for one reason, is it makes it easier to photograph the bracelets. There's less to play with. There's less to mess with. Oh, Kat is part of the Weak Hands Club too. Apparently, it's supposed to give you better motor skills. So fine motor skills for like little tiny detail work. So I'm going with that. This is going to be my excuse.
There is that.
So pretty. I just am
Such a
loving
fun
how these
piece.
all look together. So pretty on too.
There's that fun little detail there on the side. Sorry, I'm moving so much.
That's okay. It's when it's super zoomed in, it can be hard to show all of that.
But yeah, guys, those are the pieces for today. You want to give them their little overview information on what you said earlier?
Yes. Yeah. Do you want me to come sit over there?
Yeah, you can come sit. Maybe zoom out so they
Okay.
can see you.
Yeah. Just like that. Good. We'll trade places for a minute.
Trade places. I was just gonna scooch
Oh,
over.
I'm not gonna sit. I'm not gonna. Oh, okay. You mean like, well, I will share the chair with you? We'll just get all nice and cozy here. All right. So you don't have to scooch over unless you're like, you're in my bubble.
Just say your thing.
Too much.
Say
Yeah.
your piece.
Okay. Good. Do you have your do not disturb on?
Yeah.
Did you just turn it off?
No.
Get distracted? No. Okay. So I was just going to give you guys a little overview of what you can now expect with the Backstage Pass. If you're not a subscriber already, definitely subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, then these will be the changes that are in effect for you now. So we used to have a point system, which was kind of confusing for our ladies to use, and we have switched over to a fixed discount. So if you go to the retail website, you're going to have a 20% discount off of everything. That includes already discounted bundles. The only time that'll get turned off is like if we're having a major sale, like 40 or 50% off. But anytime we're having just like a regular small sale, you're going to be able to stack your savings. So like if there's a bundle on there today that's like 20% off. That means you get 20% off that. And then you get another 20% off on top of that if you're a subscriber. You also get a stash shipment, which is worth $75 or more. And you get a class that uses all of those components. Corian does that, and she picks out the stash, and then she teaches the class on that. And then you have access to our masterclass library, which is over 150 classes, which is really great. Plus, you get free shipping at a lower level. So if it's like 50 and up, you get free shipping on the retail website. Am I forgetting anything? I think that's
access
everything.
to the masterclass library.
Yeah, yep, we already talked about that. And then also something exciting, another thing, I've not finished implementing it, but something that's coming our way is going to be volume purchasing discounts on findings. So like your ear wires, jump rings, head pins, eye pins, that kind of thing. You'll be able to stack your discounts on those as well. So it's a super fun group. We also have like a special Facebook group that we open just to members only, and then we'll put links to the classes in there. We'll also put exclusive content in there. So like you're going to get sneak peeks of what's coming up from the week.
If you want to ask a question
Yeah.
and you want to see something, like for example, you want to see shipping process from Doug.
Yeah.
You get that exclusive content behind the scenes. Just you need to request it.
Yep. So like I know Lisa already asked about that, and so I'm working on Doug to get him to take a little bit of time to show some of those business tips that we have as well. So you get a little bit of that backstage pass access, and then a bunch of different really great benefits. So I'm excited for it because it's a lot simpler model. And I feel like it's just like easy to explain because it used to be harder to explain.
Yes.
Yeah. But great value and a great group of people.
Yep.
So that's it. All right. You can have your seat back and we will say goodbye.
Also, I didn't even tell them what I'm working on personally.
And what is that?
My mom has an Etsy shop.
Oh, yes.
So I'm finally starting my own little jewelry thing, but I want to expand it eventually. And so I'm just starting. I got my link. I got my name. I got my Instagram. No posts, no designs, no anything. I'm just getting the framework started.
Right, deciding what your style is going to be for it.
I will share that with you guys in a little bit once I have some things up. And maybe give me a follow. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun. Something else you get with the masterclass and backstage pass groups is also like business tips, and it's kind of like a smaller group where you can say, hey, like I have this question about like setting up my Etsy shop or that kind of thing. So there's content there as well. So it's not just jewelry construction. You get a little bit more of a small community where you can help solve problems like, what to do to market yourself, which is cool.
Yeah. So I will be working on that and I will be learning. So I'll have new tips for you guys as I learn that process and get advice from my great family who has so much knowledge. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, guys, and we will see you next week on Friday. Of course, best be here, as always. And Corian will see you on Wednesday. Anything else that they should keep their eye out for?
Just be watching vintage.com because I've got a lot of really exciting things coming for you guys. Extra discounts, more ways to engage with our product. cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much, guys. We always appreciate when you join us, and especially when you stay all the way to the end.
Thank you. We
Lots
love
of loves there. So we will all see you on next Friday.